Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. We took a few weeks off, so it's always crazy right around spring break and the Midwest Gaming Classic. So had to take a few weeks off from the podcast. But if you're new here, thanks for checking us out. You stumbled upon the Overwhelmed Gamer podcast, where we take about 30-40 minutes of your time and waste it talking about retro gaming, homebrew gaming. Sometimes we dive into some modern stuff as well, not too often, but once in a while. But welcome. I'm your host, Jason, and today I'm joined by Jay from GFD Gaming, and we are going to discuss Skate Cat, a little homebrew game for the NES, also available on Switch. So you might want to check that out. Yeah, that's it. Let's get on with it.
He is the overwhelmed gamer. Jason's the overwhelmed gamer. He stopped playing 20 years ago and just started up again. Now his backlog of games to try seems like it never ends. Exploring older games and retro. He's playing homebrew on Nintendo. Yeah, he's the overwhelmed gamer.
So before we get started, a quick bit of housekeeping. If you don't want to hear me blab for like 10-15 minutes, you can scroll down about that much until you get to the review. Anyway, a whole bunch of things are changing. You could almost consider this like, I don't know, season 3 restart of the podcast once again. We're still trying to figure out kind of our cadence and our consistency of what we're doing. But one of the big changes that I'm going to be making is going forward, we're not only just going to do game reviews, but I really want to get into just general gaming topics as well. Most of them are still going to revolve around homebrew games or retro gaming. We might get into some modern stuff here and there, but I thought I would kind of open it up and just give us more to talk about besides just game reviews every single week. Moving forward, we're still going to try and get these out once a week for everybody. I don't know. I've been going back and forth on deciding when I'm going to release these. So I look at the little YouTube algorithm thingy that tells me when I should actually put videos out. And yeah, I don't usually follow it, which I should probably try doing once in a while. But anyway, so once a week, this is going to come out. Talking about YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, thanks. Obviously, it's now a video and audio podcast. But I did make YouTube partner just recently. So thank you so much for that, everybody. I super appreciate it. All kinds of stuff coming out. I do have a membership tier now as well. I don't know if it's going to stay like that, but you can check it out if you want. It's $1, so you can join in as a member and you get little things for during the stream and you get access to our Discord. I might change that whole Discord access thing. I don't know. Who cares? I don't know. We'll figure that out. But yeah, I think that's it for housekeeping. I'm sure there'll be more that'll come up. But anyway, next we're going to get into a little topic that I like to call what's gripping my controller. If you are new to the podcast, I take this time to kind of go over just my week in gaming, game pickups, things like that, before we kind of get to the meat of the podcast. And holy cow, I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about this week. First, as far as games that I've been playing, I am juggling an absolute ton of stuff right now. First, I just finished The Last of Us, which, man, that game was really good. In fact, I'll have a video out for it. By the time you're watching this, my take on it will be out on my YouTube channel. So check that out if you want to see what my take is on The Last of Us. But yeah, glad I had the chance to play that. Probably finishing Portal on Sunday. My daughter and I are streaming that one, and we're on the very last boss. We were actually into it last Sunday, but it was getting a little late, and we didn't quite have enough time to finish it, so that's where we're going to start off this Sunday. Probably going to be a shorter stream and just finish that one up. Another one that, man, I'm so glad we had the chance to play that. What else am I playing? Oh, my middle daughter and I started playing Life is Strange, double feature, double vision. I don't know, something like that. But if you're into those type of games, if you've played words are hard. There's too many letters. Um, but if you've played any of the other Life is Strange games, it's generally the same type of game. And I'm a sucker for these story driven games where it's just kind of story based, point and click adventure. This one is not a whole lot of deaths. I don't think there are any deaths in it, but it's just a nice, relaxing story to go through. So I'm really digging playing that one with my daughter. Um, my youngest one and I also tried out Blueprints, which is kind of another like point and click kind of adventure game, but it's a roguelike. So it's really hard to explain. It's all these different rooms, and there's I don't remember the actual number. I think there's like 45 rooms in this mansion, and you're trying to find the 46th one or something along those lines. But it's been fun so far, and we'll probably end up streaming that one when we're done with Portals. Yeah, enjoying that one. My game of the week this week, if you follow along with my shorts, is Shinobi for the Sega Master System, which I want to talk more about in a little bit. But there's that. And then finally, I started a little bit, like maybe an hour and a half of Expedition 33. I am digging that game, and it's a real struggle, to be honest, not to dump everything that I've had planned so far and just jump into Expedition 33 because I've enjoyed my time with it that much in like the hour and a half that I've played it. So, but we're not, I have a few things that I want to play before I get to that, and then we'll get back into that. But yeah, that is man, that game is sweet. If you have not checked it out and you're an RPG fan and a turn-based combat fan, this one does a fantastic job of mixing turn-based combat with a kind of a more modern feel. So you have some almost like quick time controls that you have to do for like either dodging or parrying or even your attacks. So it really, man, it really lends itself well to that type of battle system. So yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, but yeah, that game I am just absolutely digging and can't wait to get back into it, to be honest. As far as game pickups, since our last podcast, we had ventured out to the Midwest Gaming Classic, which I had an absolute blast. I can't even, man, this was one of the better, this was the best year that I've been there. I got to meet up with an absolute ton of homebrew developers, different podcast hosts, just all kinds of people from the community, which was just so much fun. I can't even begin to tell you. I might actually do a whole episode based on that. And I think I will in the coming weeks. But as far as pickups go, I actually didn't go nuts this year. I actually went way less than usual, but I did get a few things. And the biggest one is a Sega Master System. I have been looking for one of these for a while. I mean, you know, I could just go on eBay and grab one, right, or whatever, but so much more fun grabbing these in the wild. And this one's clean. I was very impressed with how clean it is. Works great. I paid, what did I pay for? 120 bucks. I thought that was pretty reasonable, to be honest. Not bad at all. And then with that, hang on, I gotta go in order here. I picked up Wonder Boy for the Master System and also picked up Shinobi. Shinobi I will be streaming. I've probably already started streaming it by the time you're watching this. So yeah, that's going to be my next stream. I don't expect it to take more than 1 or 2 playthroughs. So yeah, check that out if you want to, or come on by and watch me stream that. Other pickups, I grabbed a copy of The Witcher 3, which I have not played yet, so another one to add to the huge backlog of games that I missed in the 20-year span that I stopped playing gaming. What else do we got here? Oh, The House in the Cemetery. These are all homebrew games, by the way. I had to get my homebrew fix. So new NES game, The House in the Cemetery from Dalen Games. Looking forward to that one. The 5 Clans of, I always botch this. Trisibra? I don't know. Whatever. But this one's from Guardian Games Studio. Great bunch of people there. I am friends with the developer. Yeah, just really, really fun game. I got to play the demo a little bit, so I'm really looking forward to giving this one a full playthrough really quick. That's Spencer over there at Guardian Games Studio. Then I also received this one I didn't get from the Gaming Classic, but I received it like the day after I came back, and that's the Cursed Legacy, a new Sega Genesis homebrew game, which I'm excited to get into some of these Sega Genesis homebrew games. They've been getting a lot of love. The Genesis has been getting a lot of love lately from the homebrew community. Thick looking cart too, right? I love this red. When they do that kind of stuff, you're watching on YouTube, you can see it's got like this translucent red cartridge. Very, very cool. Yeah, so I've had a whole bunch going on. Trying to juggle all this has been a little bit of a trick, but I'm having a blast. I'm so happy to be back into the hobby and having games to play and things to do. So, yeah, that's it. That's what I've been up to the last week or so. We're going to do a quick little service announcement. And when we come back, Jay and I will give you our take on Skate Cat for the NES. Be right back. Hey everyone, just a quick little service reminder. If you're enjoying the podcast, don't forget you can also now watch it on YouTube as a video podcast. While you're there, check out my other content. I post every Monday evening covering game retrospectives, homebrew overviews, top lists, and much, much more. I also stream 3 nights a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 10 p.m. Central Time on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Mondays, I play through my backlog. Tuesdays are all about retro games, and Thursdays are wild card where I decide what to continue playing. So if you love live gaming discussions, come and hang out. And if you want to get in touch, head over to the website at overwhelmedgamer.show. There's a contact form where you can send in questions, game review requests, or interview inquiries. Homebrew and Indie Devs, if you'd like me to check out your game or do an interview, that is the best way to reach me. You can also find me on just about every social media platform. Links are on the website or in the show notes. That's enough of that. And now back to the show. Hey, welcome back to the pod, everybody. And joining us, God, words are hard. Joining us once again is Jay from GFD Gaming. He's kind of becoming our homebrew go-to. So, Jay, what's going on, man? Thanks for
having me back, man. Appreciate it.
For sure, anytime. So, we're talking Skate Cat, right?
Yes.
Man, I almost think I need to preface this with letting people know they don't know that this was created by like a 10-year-old kid?
10 or 12, I think. Yeah.
Somewhere in there. Yeah. So there's definitely things that are, I don't want to say it. I mean, if I remember right, like he did the graphics. His dad helped him with
the programming Yeah. But I think this is his third game or fourth game at this point. Is it now? Because he did Kubo, and then there was a short game called Kubo, and then Kubo 3, and then I think there was like a Rob N game, which is like a robot. You play as a robot. Like shorter ones, but he made them.
Nice.
But
super impressive. Give me your first impressions of this game.
I mean, it really sold me kind of right off the bat because I believe this was the second homebrew NES game I bought. And, that once I learned about homebrew NES games, I love cats. If anybody's watched my channel, there's always a cat walking in front of me or sitting on my lap. But then also a big fan of skating. So Skate Cat just sold me.
Combine the two.
Yeah. And so I didn't even know what it was about when I bought it. And it's actually became my relaxation game where I can beat this game really fast. I do die a lot at that final jump. Which there's a weird trick about that, which Dale Coop told me about. So I don't think it's like the most amazing game in the world, but it's nice, relaxing. For me, it's been easy. So
yeah, it's super relaxing. It's one of those games that there's a lot of memory muscle that needs to be put into it to get good at it.
yes.
I remember playing through it and dying often, and even to the point, so there's some difficulty to it, because I remember getting frustrated at parts where I'm like, dude, I would die at the dumbest spots. I remember playing it. In fact, I was just watching a stream I did of it not too long ago, and I kept dying on parts that I shouldn't have been dying on, because I'm trying to, do a better run or even just finish the game.
Yeah.
And I just kept dying at stupid pits that I knew were coming, or spikes that I knew were jumping out. So there's definitely a ton of memory, muscle memory that you need to have built up, and there's no continue, right? You just, once you die, then you start over from, and there's only four
lives.
Is there 4 or 5 levels? I don't remember.
Well, I guess you have, let's see, 1, 2, there's 4, but each one has like 2 parts to it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So there's 4 total bosses, right? There's the guy in the dump truck, that snake. That snake can be a pain. Yes.
Yeah, if you don't go into it full health, and if you get unlucky where he just pops down on you, that's
a pain. But yeah, so to kind of describe this one, it's your basic platform. You're a cat on a skateboard. They did really well too with the physics of the actual skateboard itself. So it's hard to come to a complete stop. There's a little trick to it. Like if you jump at the right time, you can kind of get yourself to stop really fast. But otherwise, you're rolling around just like you're on a skateboard, which is really cool.
Yeah, and it controls really tight too.
Yeah, the controls are well done. The graphic wise, again, keeping in mind this was done by a kid, but even that, they're not the best graphics for an NES game or an NES homebrew game. But
I mean, it beats a lot of games, though.
I know, right? I agree with you. Even with that said, you still know exactly what you're doing. You understand. You see that you're a cat on a skateboard. You know where to jump, what you can jump on, what you can't jump on. All those little things are totally fleshed out. So there's none of that. And there's plenty of regular NES titles that I've played back in the day that were way worse than what they were able to accomplish with this one. So just super cool, and hats off to somebody that young jumping in and doing something like this. So that's super cool. Gameplay and mechanics are kind of just that. It's a nice little platformer. And now you were talking earlier that what do you have your time down to in this one?
I can beat it in under 12 minutes. I was trying to beat it actually before our podcast, see if I could get under 11 minutes, but that hasn't happened yet.
Well, and that's the thing with this game too, is talking about replayability. It's one of those games that you can pick up at any time and just want to try and beat whatever you did last time. It's really cool that way. It doesn't get boring. And even I want to say the monotony, but a little bit of that, like if you die, you start over and then you just keep getting better and better, because you have to replay these levels to get any further. I mean, if you cheesed it and save stated it, I guess there's that, but I'm pretty sure I don't remember if I played it on, I mean, I own the cartridge, but Dale sent me a ROM, so I may have played it on the ROM just to be able to play it on the ROM, so it was just convenience. But I didn't cheese it. I played it through the right way, where I died and I'd start all the way over, then go through and get good. Or sometimes I felt like I was getting worse, but but yeah, it's a great little game. It's hard to, it's one of those that you really need to play, I think, in order to really appreciate it. And I think it could. No, I think there's also a Switch port for this now, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think it might be on Steam as well. I don't know, but I know there is a Switch port.
Yeah. It's just one of those super unique, easy games. It's not easy, don't get me wrong. There's some difficulty to it, but once you've figured it out, you can not only that, not just once, but once you figured it out, and if you still play it with some regularity, you can finish it pretty quick. If you don't play it with any regularity, when you try going back into it, like I tried to just recently, you're gonna suck at it all over again.
Yeah, it's like most NES games. You have to. There's some fair good amount of memorization to where spikes are and when an enemy is going to swoop down.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever get frustrated with this game. It's just a relaxing game at this point. But I probably play it more than most people.
No, I can't. I'm trying to remember a place where besides that end boss. The end boss is no joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's tough.
He's probably my favorite boss of the game too, because he's got a lot of different things going on with him. Like at first he sends the little enemies down, and then he shoots lasers horizontally. Yeah. And then the lasers then vertically, and then he jumps down.
Right.
All the while they have a little turret gun shooting as well.
Back and forth that you have to try and avoid. Yeah, so that is a bit of a pain. There's a lot of one of the cool things I liked about it too was during your run, there's a lot of free dudes that you can pick up, and they're not you can see them, they're not really hidden or anything, but some of them are a little tricky to get to. I remember killing myself over and over again, and I think it's like that second
sewer level.
That's
it's the sewer level. Yeah, that's the one that's hard to get.
Yeah, you have to like get your skateboard like right to the end of that pipe and jump, otherwise
if you notice like when you're going to an edge, you'll notice your skateboard dip just slightly, and if you hit jump right then, that's your max jump. So you look for the little dip, and you can still jump.
So there's a little tell. I didn't know this. All right. Yeah, I died over and over again trying to get that goofy thing. And when you're trying to beat the game for the first time, you really depend on those. You're trying to get all of those. So by the time you get to the end boss, you have enough life to try them a few different times. Because if you get there with like one dude and it's your first or second attempt, you're kind of like, well, forget it. I might as well just die and start over and try and get back to him again. I did a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm sure my first playthrough or two was not. I mean, I'm sure it took me a while, which is good. You know, I don't want the game to be over in, you know, a $60, $50 game, whatever it is, you know, be over in 20 minutes.
No, for sure. And I was looking back through, I played this on stream, and it took me 3 different playthroughs before I got to the end, or till I got to the point where I could finish the game. So, it probably equated to like 4 or 5 hours worth of gameplay before I got to the point where I could finish it.
Wow. That's good though. I mean, you got your money out of it.
Oh, most definitely. But yeah, you can finish this game in like 10, 11, 12 minutes if you're good at it.
How long did it take you to get past that final jump? Because that to me is by far, it still gets me, because that's a hard jump. It's when you jump and you hit the and you loop back through over and over right before the final boss. It's a really long jump.
I know it. I can picture it in my head. Yeah, and you roll. Yes, and you have to time it just perfect. You have to almost get your skateboard like to the point where you're off of the goofy platform. If I'm remembering right, it's been a little bit since I've played that piece.
Well, you will be completely off of it because it is a hidden tile. It's an invisible tile right there, and that is the only way to make that jump.
Right. Okay. Now I'm remembering it better now. I remember getting super frustrated. Like, dude, you got to be able. And then, and I think I just was like, dude, okay, I'm just gonna keep going and just see like where I fall off.
Yep.
And that's where I kind of realized it. And I was like, okay, it gives you a whole bunch of leeway. So
SJ, I actually messaged Dale Coop about that. Like finally after I beat it, because I was like, I spent so long trying to get that jump. And I think I messaged him, and he says like, oh, SJ likes to put things like that in his games. He told me there's a hidden tile there.
So that's something to look out for when you're playing this one.
Yeah.
I haven't played it for anything but the NES. I'm wondering if it's I'm assuming it's pretty much the exact same game, regardless of the platform you play it on.
I hope so. I've only played it on NES, on the cartridge. I only have it on the cartridge. So.
Yeah, same. I have it on I have a ROM of it too, but I think, it's a good game. I mean, graphics are decent. They are what they are. Yeah. The sound is good. The gameplay though is solid, like legit solid. You should if you like just little relaxing platformers. It's great. It's really well done. I don't know, like really what else there is with this one. It's just a simple, chill kind of game.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite level?
Maybe. I thought the forest was pretty cool. It was frustrating at times where the little spikes jump up out of the logs. So that was a little frustrating, but I like the looks of it. I liked how the leaves falling down and then you have to hop up over the leaves.
Oh, the leaves are so cool. That's
yeah.
That's a cool effect.
So yeah, I guess if I had to pick a favorite, it would be that one. That or the moon. The moon was cool too. I guess we could kind of talk about that. You start out, you're basically in a city is the first level. I'm trying to, if I can remember all this. And then after the city, you go underground into like a sewer. But that's all kind of like, it's like 1-1 and 1-2 before you get to the boss.
Which is like that poop monster.
Yeah.
The 10-year-old in me loves that
guy. Right? Then you just have to kind of jump on his head to kill him. And then, so we should have mentioned this as well. So every time you finish a level or get to the next stage, then you get kind of, I don't know if you really, how do you want to say this? They don't really give you extra powers, but they give you your skateboard can do something extra. Or I think most of it's already baked in, but they tell you about it. Because I think like
you can always do a kick flip, I think.
Right, but then they tell you about it going into the forest level.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, okay.
Okay. Because I think on the forest level you have to use the kick flip
because there's those little spiky enemies running around.
Yeah, a regular jump won't kill them.
Right. Yeah, so then you go into the forest. And I'm trying to remember I think the forest is kind of just the forest all the way through, isn't it? Till you fight that snake.
Yeah, there's two levels of the forest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then you beat up the snake, and then you go into you have to refresh
factory.
my memory. Yes. Those conveyor belts were a pain in the ass too.
Yep. That's the I love conveyor belts. The conveyor belt level is the only one I ever have seen a glitch on, which is pretty rare. I play a lot of homebrew games, so I see a lot of glitches and get stuck a lot. But that's only one time. Well, on a regular basis, there's one of those anvils or something that comes down at the very end of that stage that will glitch out, and it'll get two of them for some. It'll load two, and then you basically have to take a hit to get by it. Which
gotcha.
At least you don't have to restart the game. But yeah, those conveyors are always a pain. I don't think there's an easy conveyor belt level ever.
Right, ever. I will say too, I did run into a couple slowdowns during some of the gameplay. You'll run into that, especially in the forest. I remember running into
you're right. There is some
slowdowns. Nothing that's real game breaking by any means. It doesn't hurt the game all that much at all, but it's noticeable in certain places.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of what happened with NES stuff. It was.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like the slowdown, but it's kind of just part of the NES a lot of times because it doesn't take much to get slowed down.
No, it really doesn't. Yeah, and then after that, that's kind of getting towards the end, right? And then you go to the moon. And now the moon level is pretty cool, too, because it gives you like these... What do they give you, like some kind of rocket ships or something on the skateboard or whatever, but you can you float through the level and you have to kind of time your button presses to go up and down and float through that. That's a tough level too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one was...
It's easy to take some hits on that one because it's some pretty tight spaces you got to go through.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you have to kind of go through these different caverns and there's enemies in the way. Yeah, that can be a pain. But yeah, it's pretty your typical little NES side scroller platformer. It's great.
I mean, the controls are really tight. The graphics are decent. You know what everything is. There's no like guessing if something's going to hurt you. That's a big plus. But in the end, it's not a very long game. Most people I don't think are going to get a ton of replayability out of it. There's no extra features. It's 4 levels and that's it.
I just really I had so much fun with this game. Maybe it was just brought me back to very nostalgic for me, and I don't know why. It's not. I mean, there's plenty of games like it, but this one, it was it was super easy to get into. The controls were super easy to figure out. I like you said, it's not the greatest graphics. You probably have to be a pretty big nerd to get the replay ability out of it, where someone that's was want to plug it in over and over again just to play it and check it out. I think some people would grab this as a one and done.
Yeah.
But it's great. You can play it on so many different platforms. It's so worth picking up for and giving it at least a playthrough.
Yeah.
Just try and keep beating your score. In fact, now that you said it, now I'm kind of jealous. I'm going to try and have to try and find time to play it a little bit more to see how well I can do. But yeah, that's real easy. Skate Cat, it's a decent game, right in the middle for me. You should definitely check it out. All right, I think we're done with Skate Cat. Thanks so much for hanging out with us again. We will see everybody next time. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to check out our little podcast. I know there's an absolute ton of retro gaming content out there now, whether you listen to podcasts, watch YouTube and things, it's all over the place. And it really does mean a ton to me that you've taken the time to listen to us babble a little bit. So, yeah, thanks so much. And if you like what we're doing here, if you don't mind either liking or subscribing on the YouTube channel, or if you're listening via podcast, leaving us a 5-star review. I don't know, it does something. It makes us cool or something. I don't know. And I need to be cool, I guess, whatever. But that's it. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks again. Late.